Hello and welcome to Some Grub with Mark Russell. Today we're doing something on the braai. It is a fine day here in Cape Town in autumn. I'm going to be starting a fire with charcoal briquettes. I'm using about a quarter bag for now, and I start off with 2 firelighters and I'll stack a pile of charcoal. About half an hour later, after I've cut all the vegetables and the meat, I will take the top half that is still burning and set it aside to start a separate fire. I'll then place the potjie pot on a flat bed of coals. Let it come up to temperature and add the coconut oil to the pot. At this stage, I'm maybe realizing the fire is a little bit cold, which I found very strange because I've never had this much charcoal being an issue before. But anyway, I'm carrying on. Once the oil's up to temperature, I am going to put in my mixture of onions, green bell pepper, fresh ginger, fresh garlic, and I sprinkled it with about a quarter lemon of lemon juice. While I add my pinch of salt and healthy amount of pepper, the point of a potjie is to actually not have finely cut vegetables because it does cook away a lot. So that's why I have big chunks of onion and green pepper. You probably actually won't even see the texture by the end of the video. I'm going to keep stirring. Again, you should be hearing a louder sizzling sound from the pot. I'm still thinking, oh, this is way too cold. I've been adding coals as much as I can, but this is quite suspicious for me. Anyways, eventually I feel the initial veggies are cooked enough for me to take it off the potjie. I'm then adding the red meat, and as you can probably hear or not hear, there's not much sizzling happening in the pot. You see steam, but you don't exactly hear that sizzle you want to hear in red meat when you're browning it on the fire. So right now I'm trying to add to the fire. I'm going to take burning charcoal, place it on the bottom again, replace my pot and keep stirring. Normally on any given day, this amount of coals is more than enough just to do your potjie. And in the previous video, I used about half the amount of charcoal and it was still fine. So, carrying on with my suspicions, we were going to brown the meat here. There's a bit of rosemary in the beef, just to provide that essence. Then I've got like a beef masala curry mix that I'm adding in. I'm going to add a heaped tablespoon into the meat, and I'm going to give it a stir until it is all orange. You can see the color change as I stir here. Make sure to just keep stirring until every piece of meat's covered in the spice. As you can see again, it is cooking because there is a bit of steam coming from the pot, but it is definitely not at the temperature it's supposed to be. Eventually it's good enough for me to add the onions and bell peppers and the previous mix back into the meat. I'm then going to make sure it is healthily stirred. And I'm then going to make sure it is stirred nicely. And again, this is a beef curry potjie, as I call it. So it's not quite your traditional curry. It's got curry flavors, but it's quite subtle. I'm going to start off with one large carrot grated, and this is just going to help the sauce thicken because the carrots will sort of become part of the sauce in the pot. You can see it's like one large carrot that I'm putting in. I'll stir it in. Once I feel the carrots are all mixed in and everything is up to temperature, I will then add in 1 tin of tomatoes, cooked tomatoes. I'm using, it's what you call a dry relish, but you can use any can of tomatoes. It's actually just what I had in the house at the time. Again, this is still not up to the temperature that I really want it. It is steaming away nicely, but you kind of want a bit more heat so that meat could have browned and this whole thing could, caramelize a little bit more. But having to carry on, you can't exactly, it's not like a stove, I can't just turn up the heat. And I'm realizing that this charcoal that I'm using, it may not be up to snuff. Carrying on, I'm going to just add half a cup of water. So noticing it is a little bit dry. And I'll mix that in, just I don't want it to burn. If it's too dry, it'll burn on the bottom of the potjie pot and it'll ruin the whole potjie. So I'd rather be safe, add a bit of water. If it's a bit runny, it will, in the cooling process, it will soak up. In go the carrots and the chopped celery. But I have 2 large carrots that I've chopped up, and I've got about 3 stalks of celery that I've chopped up into small pieces. They're going to go in, and then on top of the carrots and celery, I'm going to put 3 cut potatoes, cut into bite sizes. 2 bay leaves are going to be in at the top just to give the curry potjie some fragrance. And I am putting in 4 of the peels from when I squeezed the lemon juice into the potjie earlier. Once the potatoes are in, I'll put on the potjie to simmer for 3 hours. The potjie should now be at a simmering temperature for about 3 hours, while all the flavors inside the potjie pots get to cook and mix. And they'll cook and mix themselves. You never stir the pot. If you stir the pot, the carrots and the potatoes will become a mush in the potjie pot. You only stir it right at the end. But now I'm getting a bit hurtful. I'm not getting the temperature that I want. I'm lifting the potjie lid off by my hands, so it's not even up to temperature. I'm adding more charcoal, and at this stage I've used more than half a bag of the charcoal that I bought. I have had enough. I go to the local petrol garage, local store, and I buy some Namibian charcoal. And I start adding it to the potjie pot. And then, not 10 minutes later, I remove the lid. I can't touch it with my hands anymore. And there it is, steaming and bubbling away like mad. So your choice of charcoal is very essential in how you cook a potjie. I will be doing a video comparing different charcoals in future. After the 3 hours, I'm taking off the potjie pot to cool for half an hour while I do the rice. As you can see, even after half an hour, it is still steaming on the insides because of the cast iron heat. Wonderfully juicy. So just a side note why you want your temperature exactly perfect. I'm mixing this potjie now, and I'm noticing it is a little runny still. That is because I added in that half a cup of water, and it wasn't at the right temperature at this stage, and vegetables give off a lot of moisture. But it's still delicious, as you can see. Grub is up. Have a good day, everybody.